Attention everyone born before 1959. This is not just another pension update. This is a direct warning, and it could affect your financial future in ways most retirees aren't prepared for. A staggering £4,500 could be at risk, and no, this isn't a scare tactic. It's based on official information that just came to light, and thousands of seniors across the UK could be impacted without even realizing it. Whether you're already drawing your state pension or planning to soon, recent shifts in eligibility rules, benefit overpayments, and delayed adjustments could mean you're missing out on what's rightfully yours, or worse, you might owe money back to the system. Many seniors born before 1959 are being caught off guard due to a lack of clear communication from authorities. This video will break it all down: who's affected, what's at stake, and most importantly, what you can do about it right now to avoid losing £4,500 or more from your state pension entitlement. We're also going to expose the most common mistakes pensioners are making, how to quickly check if you're on the list of those at risk, and the fastest way to correct your pension records if needed. So if you or a loved one was born before 1959, I urge you, stay with me for the next few minutes. Your pension security could depend on it. And if you find this information helpful, or if you simply believe UK seniors deserve clarity and fairness, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube this topic matters and helps us reach more people who truly need to hear this. Let's protect what you've earned together. Now, let's talk about what's really going on and why this warning is so serious for anyone born before 1959. Over the past few months, there have been growing concerns surrounding how the state pension is being handled, especially when it comes to older pensioners. We're talking about people who've worked their entire lives, paid into the system, and now, just when they should be enjoying the security of retirement, they're being blindsided by errors, delays, and in some cases, underpayments or even clawbacks. If that sounds shocking, it's because it is. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people assume that once they hit pension age and start receiving payments, everything is set in stone. The money comes in regularly, and the assumption is that the government's got everything sorted. But unfortunately, that hasn't always been the case. For seniors born before 1959, a wave of administrative issues has been coming to light, and it's not just technical glitches. In fact, there are growing reports that some pensioners are being paid incorrectly, either too little over many years or, in rare cases, too much, and now the DWP is trying to recover that money. Can you imagine receiving a letter saying you owe thousands of pounds after decades of honest work and faithful national insurance contributions? It's not just frustrating. It's terrifying. What's even more unsettling is that many of the affected individuals had no idea something was wrong. No obvious warning, no phone call, just a cold letter through the post, or a sudden change in their pension payment that leaves them confused and frightened. These are people in their 70s, even 80s, suddenly facing the idea that their income, the money they rely on for bills, food, heating, could be reduced or taken back. That's not just a financial issue. That's emotional. It's a betrayal of trust. So how did we get here? A lot of it comes down to how pension records have been kept, or rather mishandled, over the years. Some of these errors go all the way back to the transition periods between different pension systems, or the introduction of the new state pension rules in 2016. Others are tied to gaps in national insurance records, particularly for women who may have taken time off work to raise children or care for elderly family members. In many cases, credits weren't applied correctly, and because the system is so complex, many people never realized they were being shortchanged. And then there's the other side of the coin, where payments were slightly too high, but went unnoticed for years. And now, instead of taking responsibility for those mistakes, the government is putting the burden on pensioners to repay those sums. Imagine this. You've budgeted every month down to the penny. You know what's coming in, what's going out, and how to stretch every pound. Then, suddenly, the DWP says, actually, you've been overpaid. We want £4,500 back. What are you supposed to do? Where does that money come from? Most people don't have that kind of savings just sitting around. For some, it could mean cutting back on essentials, skipping meals, turning off the heat, or missing prescription refills. That's not just inconvenient. That's dangerous. and it's deeply unfair. But here's where we shift gears, because while the situation is serious, you are not powerless. Knowledge is your first line of defense, and that's exactly why I'm making this video. First and foremost, you need to know where you stand. If you were born before 1959, the first thing to do is check your state pension forecast. It's easier than you think. You can do it online through the UK website or by contacting the pension service directly. If something looks off, maybe the amount seems lower than expected, or it hasn't increased the way you thought it would, don't ignore it. Ask questions. Request a breakdown of your pension calculation. You are absolutely entitled to it. If you've already been contacted by the DWP about an overpayment, please don't panic. You're not alone, and there are steps you can take. In many cases, you can challenge the repayment request, especially if the error wasn't your fault, which, let's be honest, it usually isn't. Pension rules are complicated. It's not reasonable to expect seniors to have caught these mistakes when even the system itself couldn't keep track. There are organizations that can help: Age UK, Citizens Advice, and independent pension specialists. They can walk you through the appeals process and help you make sense of the paperwork. Now, let's address the emotional side of this, because this situation isn't just about numbers. It's about dignity. It's about respect. For many of you, retirement was supposed to be a time to relax a bit, maybe enjoy family, take a few holidays, or just not worry so much about money every single day. You've already put in the hard work, the decades of long shifts, early mornings, and difficult choices. You've paid your dues. So to be told in your later years that something is wrong with your pension, that you're either not getting what you deserve or you suddenly owe thousands, it's not just financially stressful. It's deeply hurtful. You start questioning everything. Did I do something wrong? Did I miss a form? Am I going to be okay next month? And that kind of anxiety is the last thing anyone should be dealing with in retirement. That's why speaking up matters. That's why checking your records and knowing your rights is essential. And most importantly, that's why we need to make noise about this. Because let's be real, these issues don't make front-page news unless we demand that they do. When enough people start asking questions, when enough of us share these stories, the media pays attention. Politicians pay attention. And with pressure, we can make sure these errors are corrected fairly, not quietly, behind closed doors, but openly, with accountability and support for those who've been affected. And look, I get it. It's easy to feel like you're just one person, that your voice won't matter. But it does. Every time you talk to a neighbor about what's going on, every time you write to your MP, every time you click a like or share on a video like this, you're helping to build a bigger movement. A movement that says, we see what's happening, and we won't let it be swept under the rug. You've worked hard all your life, and this is your time to enjoy the fruits of that labor. You shouldn't have to fight for it. But if we must fight, then let's do it together, with information, with support, and with determination. So if you're still with me, and I hope you are, take this moment as your first step. Go check your pension records. Talk to your family about this. Reach out for help if something seems off, and don't let the fear or confusion stop you. This is about your future, and you deserve clarity, security, and peace of mind. And before we wrap up this part of the video, let me just say, if this video has helped you understand what's going on, or if you think someone you care about needs to hear this message, please give it a thumbs up right now. It might seem like a small thing, but it truly helps spread this message across YouTube. The more people who engage, the more this issue gets noticed. So don't forget to hit that like button and help us bring this story to light.